I'm just a little songbird, try to fly my way homeward with the melody, and I make the beat. Don't know where it'll take me, cause when I'm in the dark of night, I sing my way back to the light. Come along with me and your heart will see that a song changes everything. And the music is moving me forward on to brighter things, on to bigger dreams. Let the harmony carry me. Even if the sky's falling down, I know the sound will lead me out. Come along with me and I know you'll see that a song changes everything. Oh, ooh, ooh.
Good morning, afternoon, wherever you are. How are you today?
I'm really good. How are you doing today, Catherine? It's post-birthday time. You're basking in the glow of another year.
Yes, I am. I'm still enjoying my cake too. Welcome everyone to Arts for the Health of It. I'm your co-host, Catherine Pardesini.
And I am the other co-host, Andrea Vocab Sanderson.
This episode today, we are focusing on all things Hearts Need Art. So we're looking forward to sharing some news, hearing some testimony or some artist reflections from our artists, and just sharing what we're up to in 2023. One of the first things I wanted to share is that we have a fundraiser going on. It's through Give and Garden. And I know we have a picture maybe or a link. We'll put the link in the comments. This fundraiser is happening between now and March 17th. And Give and Garden supplies bulbs, seeds, all kinds of plants. Their selection is really beautiful, and it will tell you which zone each plant belongs to. 50% of the proceeds from your purchase will go directly to Hearts Need Art, and they have a 100% guarantee on your plants growing and thriving. So if you're already looking for spring plants, go ahead and check out their website.
Yay, it's time to make some things grow, which this whole episode is dedicated to the idea of growth. All the art activities that we're going to do today are going to be centered and focused on that because it's a new year. And I think when everybody rolls into the new year, they're thinking about whether you are into making resolutions or not. You want to have some goals set for yourself. You're evaluating what you just came out of in the last year and starting to open up the idea of making plans. I think this year is going to be extremely instrumental to make a lot of planning things happen, like well thought out before you attack. Even if you're not quite sure, I know that having a plan makes you feel more confident moving forward. And confidence is what everybody needs, because all that self-doubt stuff, it's a thing of the past. We're moving forward with confidence and a whole lot less self-doubt.
Yeah.
It just blocks us up.
It's time to move past that. So we'll be doing a writing prompt with you, and then we'll be making some art as well. What will people need for your writing prompt? It's probably pretty simple material.
It is either a pencil or a pen or some kind of writing utensil that you like, because some of y'all get real fancy with your writing utensils. I know me. I like to go to Office Max and clean house every once in a while. And you'll need something to write on. And if you're technological, then you can use your cell phone or your laptop, whatever device you'd like as well, as long as you can produce words.
There we go. For the art activity part, you'll need paper. And this can be really simple just with pencil, if that's what you have. Or if you have colors. Oh, yes, you do need a sketch pad. Ooh, that's a fancy one. That's a mixed media one. Fancy. Okay. It can be as simple or as elaborate as you like with your supplies today. If you do have colors, that would be fun to add, whether it's crayons, markers, watercolors. Oh, you have all the good stuff. I want to come over there and use your supplies.
Come on, catch a plane. Let's do it.
So we'll also give you some time later to gather your materials if you don't have those put together just yet. So
that's right. We got musical interludes so that you can go gather things. You can make that mad dash to the other room like I did a few minutes ago. I was like, where's my sketch pad? I had one in my garage. I was like, I know exactly where it is. I can see it in my head, and I just got to go get it. Yeah.
We'll put it to good use today.
Mm-hmm. Y'all got pause buttons. We don't have pause buttons over here. It's real life.
This is true. All right. So we are bringing on 2 of our new board members this morning to visit with us, and we'll also be joined by our CEO, Richard Wilmore. So Amy Latta and Cassidy Ross are our 2 newest board members, and they will come on and share a little bit about themselves, and we'll get to know them.
Yes, we're going to ask them about the hair products they use and, what kind of pets they might own. It's going to be wonderful times here at Arts for the Health of It, which, this is under the umbrella of a wonderful nonprofit, and we just want to share Hearts Need Art. Let's bring the ladies in.
Bring them on. Cassidy's muted.
Never want a hot mic moment. So,
welcome, Amy and Cassidy. We're glad to have you here with us today, so that people can get to know you and hear about who you are, what you do, but also why you chose to join the board for Hearts Need Art. So who wants to start?
Alphabetical order. Easy.
Alphabetical. Okay.
Oh, there you go. I was about to volunteer, but you've spoken.
So I guess A goes first. Good morning. I'm Amy Latta, and I am an artist and an author and a speaker and a teacher. I have my website, amylattacreations.com, where I love to share all kinds of creative inspiration, things that anyone can do. One of my specialties is hand lettering, which is like modern calligraphy. And I've been on the podcast before to share about that and some of my books related to the modern calligraphy and to doodling, all of it, which I think is very, very therapeutic and relaxing and fun. I also do other kinds of art and crafts. I've just learned how to quilt, and I like to paint things. I just painted our fireplace. So I love creativity in all its forms. I joined the Hearts Need Art board because I knew Richard, the CEO. I knew him from being on his show previously. And when he told me about being involved with this organization, I immediately wanted to know how I could be a part of it. I firmly believe that art and creativity is something that's just so essential to the experience of being human. It's just something that we all have in common. It's something we all can enjoy. And it really can be, like I said, relaxing, and it can be healing. And I think that the idea of bringing creativity to folks who are at a real low point is just such a gift that we can give to them, and giving it to their caregivers as well. I don't think you can put a dollar value on something like that. So I definitely wanted to know how I could use my art and my platforms to help, and have been involved in a few different ways over the past year. And then recently, Richard started, maybe we'll call it begging me to consider a position on the board. He thought that I could bring some things that maybe would benefit the organization. And so, hoping that that's true, here I am.
I think you will bring a great deal to us, and we are excited to see the ideas that come to the table. And I really love what you said about the idea of giving your art as a gift to others, because as you give that gift to others, God brings it back to you in some other form. It's going to manifest, and it's just really enriching to see the inspiration that you have on other individuals.
Yeah, and I think those of you who haven't listened or watched Amy's previous episodes with us, I encourage you to go and listen or watch, because you're so skilled, Amy, at making art very accessible to people, especially people who automatically say, I'm not an artist. I can't draw a straight line, like the kind of the typical responses we hear sometimes, and you're able to break down that process and just make it easy and fun at the same time. So I would encourage listeners to check out Amy's past episodes. All right, Cassidy, welcome.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I was going to say I am the yin to Amy's yang,
All
because I am
right.
the person that says I can't draw in a straight line. But I love the arts, even though God may not have gifted me with with what's considered the talent. I still participate and try, and I think it's a fabulous outlet. I discovered those like very intricate coloring books during law school when I just needed to turn my brain off and just draw, the giant fish. And so I've always been a supporter and a lover of the arts. And when I moved back to San Antonio after school, I wanted to kind of find a way to give back to the community, but also do something that I'm passionate about at the same time. And so the mission of Hearts Need Art really spoke to me. I think, if COVID taught us one thing, it's that connection to other humans is so integral and just vital for human survival. And I think that's something that COVID took from us, right? Like 100 Zoom happy hours cannot replace like human interaction and getting FaceTime with another human being. And so I think the Hearts Need Art mission to bring arts into hospitals, and especially during this time when people are feeling a lot more isolated, is something that I just want to throw my whole weight behind. So I guess a little bit about me. I'm an attorney by trade. I'm in-house counsel for a company here based in San Antonio. So I'm going to be more supportive of the organization on kind of the contracting side and the consulting side on the legalities of everything. I have a wonderful fiance, Philip. We're getting married in March, and you may see my dog pop up behind me in the video. He's taking a nap. He's a TSA failure dog. So we adopted from Lackland Air Force Base after he decided he could not participate in the airport bomb sniffing program any longer. So, but I'm so happy to be here and really excited about joining the board and just giving back in any way I can to help. So thanks for having me.
When did you first hear about Hearts Need Art, Cassidy?
So I heard about the organization through SA 2020. I participated in the board game and was kind of matched because they have different values or, there he is, different values or things you want to focus on with your board game matching. And I put the arts down as mine. And so I was connected with Hearts Need Art that way. I actually hadn't heard of the organization before that. And so I did some research and just really, really became connected to the mission and wanted to know more. So
we're so happy you're here.
Yeah.
We are happy to have you.
Thank you. It's mutual.
Yes.
All right.
And what I've found is it's really hard to be an artist and also focus on the business aspect. And then if you start talking legal, that's even more something that my artistic mind is like, I'm not even trying to hear that or deal with that. And finding people that we trust and can vibe with, that, you can sit down and have those conversations that are tough but very necessary, especially in the nonprofit world. Things have really changed and taken off. I feel like everybody I know is starting a nonprofit. And but it's cool to see people coming into their own, like finding a way to do business for themselves, the entrepreneurial spirit, just kind of accelerating. I think, like you said, during this time of we're having a lot of time to yourself to reflect during the whole process of a pandemic. It really made people say, what do I need to change about my life? What do I need to do different? So I'm glad that, people are bringing in business, but also bringing in art into their life in a very significant way.
Winning combo. Yeah.
Definitely.
We also wanted to hear from our CEO, Richard Wilmore, and he's going to pop on, right, Richard?
He is going to pop on.
There he is. Welcome.
Y'all got me crying back here.
The Brady Bunch.
We're good with crying. Yeah.
This does look like the Brady Bunch. Unless you're listening to this on the radio, then it doesn't. Or a podcast platform. I don't know. Just watching this, listening to you all talk about this, like I feel, I don't know. You got me crying back here. Like I just am so happy that I get to be a part of everything everyone's talking about. Like I don't know. I have nothing. This is how great of a CEO I am. I can't have words. Just why I'm not on the podcast anymore. Because I can't talk. Anyway,
we'll give you a prompt. We'll give you a prompt.
All right, good.
Well, tell our listeners a little bit about like where are we with Hearts Need Art right now, and what are some of the things coming in 2023?
Oh gosh. I just feel like there's so much happening. This entire episode's theme is kind of growth, and we're bringing on new board members. They're over here, which is super exciting for us to get fresh perspectives and different I feel like I'm Barbara Walters on The View. All these viewpoints. So that's really exciting. We have right now, as of January, in the next couple months, we'll be providing services in 5 new hospitals. So that's really exciting. That's all within the first quarter of 2023. So I have no idea what the rest of the year looks like. I know there's some talk out there for some virtual programs for some hospitals. So that's really exciting. We have Vocab, who joined us at Hearts Need Art as the host. We have, what else do we have? We have, this is now a radio show, which is very exciting. Like, who knew? And it's only January. It's only January. That's what's exciting to me and also petrifying. And if you're watching this, I want to show you, I should have probably done this ahead of time to see if you all liked this, but this is our new, go on our YouTube channel and look at our new t-shirt design. Are you ready? This is coming.
Ooh,
that's gonna be our new t-shirt.
Wow.
Do you like it?
Yes, it's like a Zentangle mandala combo.
Yeah, it's designed by, those are 4 different patients designed those, and we put them all together to make that t-shirt. So the prototype is arriving today, and then we get to make sure the QR code works, and then we'll print it. So that's what's happening. There's a lot happening. I stepped away from the podcast because I had a lot to do, and now we made it a radio show, and so now there's more to do. But it's exciting.
Well, you are the wizard. You are the wizard of our personal Oz, the force behind the curtain that keeps us going, and we need you, and we thank you for every sacrifice that you're making to have all of this possible, because you're really blessing the artist community, but also blessing those that are in the process of healing and going through care in facilities and maybe even at home. Because I'm pretty sure the people who come out of the hospital, they take some of this home with them, and they continue the crafting and the construction and creation in their own spaces.
Well, thank you for that. I have always considered myself Dorothy. But that's a different subject. But I could be Dorothy, where like I gather good people and we go and we do good things.
Yes.
So
I do.
I can still keep my ruby slippers on, and that's all that matters to me. And maybe I'll send the photo. We're recording this ahead of schedule, but maybe I'll send the photo of me as Dorothy when I was a child to put up there. And so
yes, please. Yes, that needs to happen.
But I know you all have a really fun activity. A writing activity that we're going to start with. So I'm going to get out of here because I'm going to, and then let you do that. Do you have any other questions for me while I'm here? No.
Probably 100, but
well, I'll be around. You know where to find me.
I have a question. I would like to purchase one of those awesome, you're going to have to edit this out probably. I want one of those polos. We got to talk about how I can get one of those polos.
These polos? We'll get you a polo. We don't have to edit that out. We'll get you one. Part of the welcome kit, Amy.
Yes.
There you go.
Enjoy the rest of the episode. Goodbye.
All right, Vocab, we're getting ready to write.
Yes. So at this point, you're going to need your utensils, and then we'll come back in just a moment and I'll give you the prompt. Hit it, producer. No breaks.
There's no
Oh.
break. Just
Well, I hope you got your stuff,
kidding.
people.
Like
I
da
could sing
da da
before you go to the
da.
other room. I could sing a song. He mentioned prototypes. I'll sing a little bit. I hope that you're the one. If not, you are the prototype. That's all the time you have. Okay, I hope you have your stuff by now. Let's go. So now that I have broken some pages off of here, I'll just use one of them. We are going to, today's writing prompt, since we're talking about growth, it is entitled A Garden of Self-Growth. And you can use that as your title or as your theme. If you don't like what I'm saying, you run off on a tangent of your own, because who am I that you should listen to me? So it's a word bank poem, and the words should be appearing on the screen pretty soon. And I will read them off to the people who may be in Radioland listening. Use the following words to create your own poem. You can use as many of these words as you want, or if you only want to use one of the words. But if you want to use all of them, props to you. Here we go. Plant, grow, seeds, future, plant again. Pick,
double
nourish,
plant.
flourish, sunlight, bloom, bouquet, harvest. So maybe the first time you say plant and the second one you'll say planted or planting. And actually with all of these words, you can, conjugate them, put your INGs and your EDs and an S or whatever, however you want to have these words appear, just adapt them, if you will, for your own poem. And so we're going to take the next few minutes and we're going to do some writing. And as we do, maybe we'll listen to a little bit of groovy music. Hello. Welcome back. We are still writing, but we are feverish in movement, and we're going to share this stuff in just a few, and hopefully feel enriched by the sharing of each other's words and life experiences through this art and this creativity. And the great thing about it is you can finish at your leisure whenever you have a moment to yourself. I know our lives are always so busy with children and jobs and whatever else we got going on, all our activities, but it is always good to take a moment to reflect through writing. So, who's going first? Is it going to be me? I bet it is.
Yep, it's probably you.
It is me. Well, let's see if I can freestyle the last line, because I felt like I was almost done. This is a short poem. Hopefully it makes a lot of sense, but we'll see. The future begins in the soil, seedlings nourished by the delight of tangerine sunlight, the afterglow of dewy mornings, and the roots that spread. Fed by droplets and rain, the cycle of life in the veins of green stem and petal, pushing upward, outward. The life I want manifesting in the same. A bouquet of life in the climate of human nature's terrain. I want more than to maintain in the present. That's all I got so far.
How
and you
does
think we're
anyone
going after that?
follow that? Yeah, how do we follow that?
I think my connection is dying.
I tried to give you an out, humans, and you all said you want to go
learned. Don't read your poem after the poet laureate.
First of all, I only got 4 lines. None of them rhyme. I have not written a poem since high school, but I was like, you know what? I'm okay with what I've done here. I'll go. I'll be vulnerable.
High five. I'm giving you a virtual high five.
Thank you.
You got this. And we're matching.
So yeah. Okay, I wrote, sunlight hits my face. It's a new day. Another new opportunity to flourish. Bloom in the skin that I am in.
That's good.
That's all she wrote. Okay, I was surprised I came up with that. So it's much different than legal writing. Spoiler alert.
It sure is.
It'll be in some legal document soon that you write.
I'm going to add this to a footnote in my next contract.
We're not redacting that.
I wrote a haiku because I like that haikus have rules and I just can count syllables. So, mine says, plant seeds in sunlight, nourish them and watch them grow, a bouquet of blooms. And I used 7 of the words in the word bank, so I think I should get 7 points. But then I spent most of my time just doodling flowers.
Well, you gave us art and a poem. This overachiever right here. And she's like, I'm going to use a form. She didn't even do free verse. She did a form. You go ahead with your haiku writing self. I love it.
Okay, mine is like 3 lines. This is so sad.
It's not.
All right, here we go. Plant your worth in a seed of belief. Nourish the desire to make the bouquet of blooms, each one a piece of who you are, not what you do. Pick your garden, pick your people. That's as far as I got.
That is amazing. That is life advice. You over here.
Thank you for
wisdom.
that prompt.
Yeah, that one had some extra wisdom in it.
Yeah, it really did. I felt like I was talking to a very wise sage who was, telling me what I need to do. And I really want that poem. Actually, I want that poem so that I can refer back to it. Because I'm like, that is good life advice.
Thank you.
This
would be fun to do with kids too. Like give them your word bank and see what they come up with.
It would be, and it will. And I have a whole, the reason why I didn't give you any preface to this before, because I was rambling about whatever, but I had a artist residency with the Carver Cultural Center here in San Antonio, who has a great connection to Hearts Need Art, by the way, because we throw shindigs in their building. And during my residency, they were like, what if you did a writing prompt situation where you help people with writing, not just because I wanted to do workshops, but I wanted to do something practical that everybody could use. So every Wednesday we did a thing called Writing Wednesday, and I would create a new poster, like digital Canva poster of with a writing prompt on it. And so that was a modified one of my writing prompts that I had put in there. And so I just have like a whole slew of them. And so if y'all ever need writing prompts, holla at your girl. I got you.
I do. I need them every week. Thank you. All right. We need to take a quick break before we do our art activity. Just as a reminder, if you are doing the art with us, it can be simple with a pencil, but if you have some markers or crayons or watercolors, you can bring those as well with your sketch pad. And what song are we going to be listening to, Vocab?
Yes. So speaking of my artist residency with the Carver, during that time, another thing that I also created was something called the Breathe series. And it was a series of video vignettes that the word breathe was an acronym. And now we're going to look at the letter A of the word breathe, and it stood for action or apathy. And so I got together with Jed Craddock, who Hearts Need Art loves and adores. He is also a health practitioner, uses physical therapy and stuff like that to heal, but he also is an amazing singer-songwriter. And we got together and we wrote a song. We asked Tamara Adira to join us in our music video because I work with Tamara a lot. And so you're about to watch our video for Action or Apathy. And here we go.
Will my voice articulate? Will my hands reciprocate? Will my mind manipulate? Will my feet undulate? Or will I wait? Will I wait? Will I wait? Wait. Make haste for others, wait to the sonata of sitting still. Escape to the pace of procrastination, free will. Skate and accelerate only when the coast is clear. Movement requires faith and shedding fear.
I wanted it to keep going. Wait.
Wait. Actually, that wait was the next word that we sing in the song. So, so you're right on. You know the lyrics already.
Oh, that was awesome. Thank you for sharing that with us.
Thank you. And thank you for allowing us to share that song, because I think every day we're met with the choice of, are we going to take action and get up and move and do something, or are we going to remain apathetic in a posture of just, and sometimes it's not necessarily apathy. We're burnt out, we're tired, we need to rest. But then there are times in life when we choose to be apathetic and can just not engage, not get up and do something. And I feel like that song's pretty appropriate for what we're talking about today, the idea of growing and moving forward in life.
Thank you. Okay, are we ready to make some art?
We are ready.
I don't know if Richard's making art in the background there, but okay, actually we need to add my art camp. There we go. There it is. Okay, so you'll need a piece of paper. I'm going to work kind of small just for the sake of time, but you can do this on a large piece of paper. And we're basically creating some kind of tree. Your tree should look completely different from mine. I'll show you a couple different ways to create this. And for all the people that say, I can't draw a straight line, this is the project for you. Because trees are organic objects and they don't have straight lines. And so it's good for your lines to be kind of wiggly and irregular. I'm using marker just to, marker sometimes works a little quicker for this project. So if you are using marker, I encourage you to use the broad side of the marker instead of using the point at the top. And you'll start on your paper by we're going to draw just like the main vein of the tree. I'm doing mine kind of off to the side. So I'm just kind of letting this line go down the page, thinking of the tree trunk part. And then from there, I can start fanning out the branches. So I kind of think of it like the letter Y. You're creating all these branches with these offshoots that create this Y or this V shape. And you don't have to be super detailed with this. So just starting to block in, like, which direction do you want these branches to go? Are they all going up toward the sky? Are they kind of fanning out? And maybe as you get out to the edges of these branches, maybe the lines get a little thinner. That's something to think about too. And I'm working kind of quickly, but you can take some time with this. You can fill in more details later. I'm going back down to the trunk and just making that a little bit thicker. I might go through some of these branches in the middle and make those thicker as well. And if you're sketching, yeah, you could use the side of your pencil and just create some thicker lines that way. Okay. How's it going?
We're doing it.
We're doing it. Trees are happening.
Yeah, I'm using a secondary brown to add some, depth of color.
Good. Exactly. So yeah, you could take a brown or a darker orange or whatever colors you're using. It doesn't have to be brown. And you can add some darker values in there. Once you kind of have that set up, and you can always go back and add more. I'm using I have a few different greens here. So I'm going to start with the darker green. And again, I'm going to start by using that broader side part of my marker. And I'm going to start in the center and work my way out to start creating some of the leaves on this tree. And these are just like little marks that you're making. If you want to draw little individual leaves, you could. But sometimes just keeping it really simple, it still gives the impression that you're going for. And I'm making these leaves toward the center, and the bottom branch is darker because typically the sun coming down on the tree, the leaves toward the top or the outer edges are going to be lighter. So these can overlap on top of your branches. Maybe some of them are kind of billowing out from the center. And you'll just keep adding more. I'm going a little bit lighter with this green. Starting to work your way out toward the branches that you created. Something too to think about, I think, when you're art making is even just noticing the sound that your drawing tool makes, like whether it's a pencil or a marker or a crayon, just noticing what the materials sound like while you're using them. And your lines, your leaves can go off the page. One other thing to consider too is trees. When we look at trees, there is some space between the branches and the leaves. So you don't have to color in the whole entire thing. In fact, it's probably good to leave some space. Depends on the type of tree as well. But
I really appreciate you, telling us we have the permission to use other colors.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be green. I don't know, maybe your tree is pink. Maybe your tree has blossoms on it, that there, there's different dots of color in there.
This is wonderful. We're making happy trees.
Yeah. Bob Ross.
Or maybe your tree is sad. I don't know. But I think it's cool to think about the emotion that you're feeling that goes into your artwork.
Yeah.
Because in writing, you're super conscious of the mood and the theme and the tone and what we call the voice of writing. So what is the voice of your colors? Like what is the emotion that you're feeling as you're creating your tree?
Right. And this might be because this project is pretty easy to block in. I would encourage you to do more than one. Like maybe it's a series, maybe you do 3 or 4 and just see how they change the more you practice them. So give you guys another minute. I don't want you to feel like you have to be done in a minute, but another minute to add in some leaves or more branches. And just while they're working on that, this one, I used crayon to create the base part of the tree, and then watercolors to start to block in some of those leaves. And it just has a different effect. It's kind of a softer edge. So I encourage you to try, if you have other art supplies, try it with different things and see how it changes.
I like the goldenrod. I always like
I love that one. Goldenrod.
It's a good color. Give some brightness to the tree.
All right. Would anyone like to share their progress?
I'll share my progress too. I'm gonna give somebody the ability to go first. Yeah, I'm not here show stopping. I'm not here to show stop. So this is not gonna be that true.
Let me do it. Let me do it.
Cassidy, go.
I gotta go for Amy.
She's ready.
So I made like I don't know, it's hard to see, like a Dr. Seuss tree. It's really hard to see with like really neon colors. Oh, there it is.
Oh, there we go.
So I just
cool.
I just used pink and oranges, and I just thought this is what a tree would look like in Dr. Seuss world.
Yes.
So,
woo!
It's beautiful.
Yeah, that's about my artistic limit there. You've seen what I can do.
I doubt that's your limit. I doubt that very much.
It's today.
Today, you're tapped out with writing poetry and drawing a tree. That's it.
She is tapped out. She's like, I am spent. Y'all have pushed me to my limit. Yeah, buddy. Welcome to Hearts Need Art.
I need to kind of block my calendar every day. Just have like 15 minutes of creativity. I think that'd be good for me.
Yes, and I think that this is part of our hope with Arts for the Health of It, is just starting to instill in people that just because you aren't a musician or a singer doesn't mean that you never sing, or that you're not a minister, that you never pray, or that it's just giving yourself the chance to make stuff. I
have to give myself permission to not be great at something,
right?
But just to do it for the health of it.
There you go. Hey,
yes.
Roll credits.
When I teach class, I have people do a positive affirmation. First, I have them do a pledge of respect that I got from my friend Selena Gonzalez. But then after that, I have them do a positive affirmation, which simply says, I give myself permission to be creative. And I make them say it twice, because I find that a lot of time when people put themselves in situations where they're trying to do something that's outside of their comfort zone, they self-deprecate. And when you self-deprecate, you're automatically destroying your confidence. And we all do it. Everybody does it, but it's time to do less of that. So moving forward. And with that said, here
we go.
is my tree.
Ooh, look at that. Look at the lines in the trunk and the branches. Wow.
Thank you.
Mm.
Reminds me of the rainbow eucalyptus trees in Hawaii.
Yes.
In Maui.
Mm. So pretty. Hawaii's like a mirage. It's unbelievable.
If y'all can
How's it going?
go.
How's it going over there, Amy?
I'm not done, which is sad, but I'll show you what I have so far.
Ooh,
Beautiful. And she put a bird.
There's a bird in Amy's tree, and there's
and it's a special bird. It's a cardinal. We just lost my husband's grandmother this week. She was 102 and was very, very close to us and stayed with us for like days and weeks at a time. And cardinals were her favorite bird. And so now I saw one the other day when we were at my in-laws kind of packing some of her things up, and there was one in their tree. And so I drew that.
Oh, it's beautiful.
That is beautiful. Yeah.
So my tree is a little bit sad and a little bit happy.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing that, Amy.
It's very detailed in the most beautiful way. I really love that cardinal that's there because there's a lot of different birds that are in my yard, so many different types. And when I would come home in the morning, I'd get here at 7:30 a.m. And that's, of course, that's the bird time of day. They're out there bustling and moving and flying around. And I'd see like maybe 3 or 4 different types of birds just sitting in my car on one particular day. And I always saw cardinals, in the morning. So that is very special. And yes, our family is with us. And God sends us those signs.
Yes. And I appreciate them so much.
Well, we want to keep you both here all day to write more poems and make art together.
That'd be fun.
Yes. But we want to thank you both for spending time with us today. If you do work into your art or your poems more, we would love it if you shared it with us.
No, of course. Thank you for letting me have this outlet today and to share a little bit about me as well.
Yeah. Join us anytime.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you. We'll see you guys soon.
Bye.
Bye-bye. And then there were 2.
Just real quick, one other part of that project, you could take the poetry you wrote with Vocab's prompt and kind of integrate some of those words into your tree artwork and put it somewhere where you can see it every day.
To remind yourself of, we are all a work in progress, every single individual. I think a lot of times people, they keep trying to like push themselves forward in their mind. Well, when I get to this point, then I'll be happy. When I do this, then everything will be better. Every day is opportunities for growth. We're never going to be perfect. All things may not always align and go the way we planned for them to, but we just keep on living. We keep on adapting, and we find joy in every day with the things we can,
Right. Joy seems more attainable than like that overarching happiness concept, right? It's finding joy in the moment. We have an artist reflection from one of our artists in residence, Jordan Ruiz, that we wanted to share with you today. So Richard will cue up her reflection, and there'll also be some artwork to go with it.
Hi everyone, my name is Jordan. I'm an artist in residence here at Hearts Need Art. So one week I had planned a willow tree activity. And before I go knocking on patients' doors, I like to ask the nurses on the floor if there's any rooms I should go to first. They know their patients and, what mood they may be in when I arrive. So one nurse told me that her patient had just got back from his first chemotherapy treatment, and it might be a good time to go and offer art, or it may not be. So it would either be hit and miss, and that's usually how it always goes. And so I anticipated a potential no because it might not be a good time. But to my surprise, the patient said yes, but he was very hesitant at first. He stopped me before I brought in the material to tell me that he's not an artist, and I get that a lot. A lot of patients tell me this, but end up making really beautiful artwork and having a lot of fun in the process. And I reassured him that that's okay. You don't have to be an artist to have fun. You don't have to be the next Picasso to have a good time and do some painting. And I could tell some tension was relieved, but he still stopped me and told me he also had Parkinson's. And I said, that's okay. I'm here to help you. And let's give it a shot. Let's give it a try. And so I invited his wife, who was in the room, to join us in a painting session, and we all did. I brought in the supplies, and because of his limited hand mobility, I decided to create the base of the tree, the willow tree, for him, and he could do the rest. So it was a joint piece. So I showed the canvas or the paper to him as I painted, and I really wanted to speak to the symbolism of the willow tree. So across many different cultures, the willow tree can represent many different qualities and attributes, but there is a running theme, and that is that the tree represents growth and prosperity, flexibility, protection, and really a resiliency in the face of unfavorable weather conditions, and that I wanted to attribute to the adversity people face while they're in the hospital, that they have a resiliency in facing that and whatever they're going through. So I started with the roots, and I said, look at these strong roots. They represent how strong you are. And he smiles and he laughs, and I could tell slowly we were connecting, and we were creating a moment all together of just joy. And so I made the rest of the tree, and I gave him a little sponge brush to do the leaves of the branches. And I had to help him load the brush and hold the paper, and he was able to make little dots through a pointillism technique to create a sort of leaf effect. And it was a very beautiful moment because I was there helping him, and we were co-creating something, and I could sense he was gaining confidence because he told me he can't believe he's doing this. He didn't think he could ever do this with his hand mobility. And I said, look, you still got it. And it was just a very encouraging moment. I could tell, I could feel the energy in the room amplify, the joy elevate, and it was a beautiful experience to be a part of. And that patient and his wife just were very positive people, and they spoke so much life into my life as I was trying to speak life into his through the symbolism of that tree. And I left that patient room feeling rather emotional because it was a moment that exemplified what we were doing here at Hearts Need Art, and it's creating those moments of joy despite the unfavorable circumstances we may be in. And it's improving that quality of life through art, through joy, through expression. And he was gaining confidence, and in a sense, he was drawing himself, his strength there. And I felt very privileged to be a part of it.
She brought out some really great words: amplify, elevate, expression, joy, strength. Very beautiful words.
New word bank.
Yeah. She was going in poetry wise, and then as she was saying those words, I started writing them into my tree in the down here in yellow, because I feel like yellow is a really powerful color, very positive color.
Yeah, and just I think it takes a lot of courage on both sides. It's of the artist and the patient. In those situations where there might be some hesitance or hesitation. And it's just interesting to hear Jordan kind of tell the story of just the timeline. I mean, it's a very short period of time, right? It's probably within a matter of 20 minutes that we went from maybe someone that it was almost a hard no to
right
creating this willow tree and finding a way to do that despite his limited hand mobility. It's really amazing to hear about.
Absolutely. He took action and left that apathy behind.
There we go. Cue the music.
Yes, woo! We bring it full circle. Because I think life is like I wrote in my poem. There's cycles. Some cycles of in our life, we go through these different phases, and you'll find that maybe even later in life, you're revisiting some of those same cycles, and you just got to figure out what works and what's good and what's nourishing you as an individual, and cut out the things that you don't like, you don't need. But we've had a great time today. A lot of great guests, a lot of great stories, and a lot of creativity.
Yes. And we're so glad we got to introduce you to our 2 newest board members and hear from Richard. Make sure that you like or subscribe or follow wherever you do those things on Facebook, YouTube, or on all the podcast platforms. And until next time, we hope you keep creating, everyone.
Woo-hoo. Thank you for listening to Arts for the Health of It. This episode is produced by Hearts Need Art, creative support for patients and caregivers. You can support the show and help others learn about the healing power of the arts by visiting heartsneedart.org. The views expressed on this podcast do not necessarily reflect the views of Hearts Need Art, their staff, board members, or other affiliates. All content is created for informational purposes only. This podcast is not intended to be a substitute for professional medical advice or to diagnose and treat any health condition. Always seek the advice of your physician or other qualified health professional with any questions you may have regarding a medical condition. Never disregard professional medical advice or delay in seeking because of something you've heard on this podcast.